Good morning, folks. This is a intuitive esoteric energy forecast for the 27th of December, but what I'm going to talk about is the energy which I've been feeling and seeing in the material plane, which has come about primarily on Christmas Day on the full moon. Now the full moon was at 11 degrees 11 minutes of Cancer, and the previous full moon to that on a Christmas Day was 1977. So what was flashing out to me, and what has been flashing out to me as a result of this, is the numbers 1177. Now 11's always sort of like a very yang activational kind of a number, which brings in something new, a new energy which is very masculine, very sort of like very powerful and hard to control really, but it's like a portal really. And 7's always been associated with magic, but the way I see this and the way I feel this is to do, and the best way to explain this are through the 7 rays, which are this sort of like the primary model which esoteric astrology uses to explain 7 principles basically, or the 7 energies which infuse this reality that we're in. Now the first ray is known as the ray of will and destruction. So anybody who's on the spiritual path, anybody who's ever learnt anything that's worth knowing in this world, usually it comes through crisis, and it comes through some sort of like destructive process really, where there's a realisation that something's got to go, and it's almost like an emotional catharsis really. So that is what this ray deals with really. You know, it deals with statesmen, politics, it deals with characters like Adolf Hitler, it deals with characters like Winston Churchill, where there's a destructive person, a destructive process that comes in. The colours which associate with this ray are red and white. Everywhere I'm looking, this is why I'm wearing these colours now, everywhere I am looking at the moment, I'm seeing red and white everywhere. Now red obviously, we know that colour is about fight and flight. We know that colour is sex, passion. We know the colour as being an activational alarm bell colour, you know, which deals with the adrenals. You know, it deals with that primary force which is much needed on the planet at the moment to sort of wake people up really, you know, for them to sort of like start to realise what it is and why they're here really. So the white colour is to do again with an element of purity, realisation. It's a culmination of a blend of all the colours. So I see this period that we're in now for quite some time as a sort of like a brand new beginning really, and an energy which is going to be really tough for people to be able to infuse and work with. People are going to have to sort of like take a step back and be aware of just how maybe anxious they might feel, how agitated they might feel. In terms of the mythology behind this, because ray 1 and 7 are the first and last rays really. But the mythology of this is almost is Artemis, the Greek goddess deity, who was the goddess of fertility, the hunt, wild animals, and virginity and chastity. So I see humanity at the moment and look at nature as needing a massive shake-up really, and we are the target. And if you realise that you're the target and that you're being hunted down, it's about opening yourself up. You know, it's about opening yourself up and come to some sort of realisations that there is help there for you, and that there are certain elements of your own personality which, when you start to contemplate your own, you know, daily existence, you know, the more you sort of start to contemplate and that and meditate on that, you realise that you know that transformation is possible more than ever. Because the 7th ray, which is to do with ceremonial order, magic, and synthesis really, or to put it in real terms, the spiritualisation of matter. Now we're made up of, you know, of molecules like this chair, like this, and under the theory of hylozoism, everything has got intelligence and everything is connected. So more and more elements of your body, your personality, your soul, everything around us is becoming more animated and more collectivised, and it needs to, because, you know, Mother Nature and the world is in chaos really. So where do we go from here? Where do we go? Well, for me personally, it's important for me to be able to ground out some of this energy, get outdoors like I am today, do exercise. I mean, I do my daily yoga, you know, to make that connection, which enables you then to obviously sort of come to certain realizations, because the world is that quick and fast, you know, and people are projecting so much of their own issues. It's easy to get caught up. So, you know, look for the signs. You know, I mean, the universe is always communicating with you, you know, and through music, through film, through numbers, as we've discussed today. For some people, it's the pets, you know, who can sort of, like, the pet's behaviour are a projection of their current energetic state. You know, people's children, their relationships. So if you can sort of, like, take a step back and be a little bit more observational as a third party, you know, then that would be the way forward, really, and just observe the energy that you're experiencing and realising that, you know, it is going to be sort of freaking people out and causing a lot of anxiety. The mental side of it, really, I mean, people may be prone to sort of, like, cut themselves up a little bit, you know, and be self-destructive because of this, the power of this energy, really. They don't know what to do with it, but it has to be infused. It's going to cause a lot of upsets. It's going to have an element of cruelty to it, in fact. You know, I see it within the patriarchy. I see it in the political realm. You know, in terms of the government, everything that they'll try and do now is going to, via the law of return, will backfire on them very, very, very quickly. We see this. I mean, certainly the weather has been reflecting this new energy without a doubt. The winds and the rain up in the north have been, you know, it's been apocalyptic kind of stuff. And I see the rain almost as like it's a purging, really, of water, because water, you know, is the life essence. It's how we're born, really. We come out of the waters into the world, and all of this destructive energy is going to clear the way, almost like in the, you know, you'd have a place like Somerset in Bury. Now, Somerset, it would have traditionally flooded in the winter months. In the summer, it then becomes fertile. So we're clearing the way now. So if it's difficult, and it's difficult to handle, and you're going through crap in your life, if you have the mindset of emotional catharsis, if you have the mindset of you're creating a space via the purging to make a fresh, provide the ground and the fertility to bring this new stuff in and to create higher expressions of your own unique self. So I see the black and the white and the black and the red also as the cat in the hat. The cat in the hat is that trickster. I've watched the film recently with my lad. I love the film with Mike Myers, and the two children in the film, you know, they have two particular spiritual lessons, personality lessons that they've got to learn after all the crisis of wrecking the house, for then everything to be put back together. So the first ray destroys, the second ray synthesises, and once the learning's taken place, you can then move on then, and then start to progress, you know, onto the path and get to the kind of place where you think you need to be. It's a continual process, it's infinite. But hang in there, folks, breathe, you know, move your body, follow your passion. You know, this is the time, you know, this is the time for gambling in a way. You know, but gambling on, not so much gambling in the mundane sense, you know, of sort of like out of desperation and fear that you want to get out of the system, or you want to maybe win the lottery or something because you want to get out and escape. You've got responsibility on this planet now to interact, work together and bring in this new universal order, really. So when I say gamble, it's about gambling and putting to the fore, to the highest element, your highest self, your highest expression in terms of your own integrity, you know, your own passion, your true core beliefs. It's about getting to that seed form, really, and breaking away all the programming, the dogma, the things that have been put on us by our society, government, parents, etc. So, well, try to enjoy it, but I can't see it being that enjoyable for the vast majority of people. But for those who are a bit more attuned, you know, it is a real energy to take it to the next step with your spiritual work, really. So, hang in there, folks, breathe, and I'll be back with you shortly. Anthony J. Bradley, thank you.